Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this update we are going to check out Near Protocol's price charts. And in the previous video we were right in here, and the idea was that this might be the beginning of a move on the upside. However, that move overall might be in form of a correction structure, and after it's over we may see another move down in Near Protocol in order to at least take the lowest low all the way down here about, let's say, $2.6. Now you might say, well, okay, instead of another move up, we got two sets of 5 waves on the upside. Well, okay, maybe, but I do not believe just because we got two sets of strong moves up, we should be right now 100% bullish. I think right now we should be absolutely objective. Now, let's put the chart first on regular scale. Okay, this is a very important point. There is no measuring waves on logarithmic, and I'm going to keep saying this in every single update. Let's measure waves one by one. Let's start by measuring this initial wave up. There we go. Is it bigger than this move? The answer is actually yes. Is it also bigger than this one? The answer is no. So what is it that I'm trying to say? You see, if you want to argue that we're going to have our final low around here, let's say this is like an important support, then you should be able to identify from the lowest low in this region a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave on the upside. Now, this specific example is an impulse. Sometimes we can have other kinds of 5 waves, and for example, we can have a wedge which looks like this. This is our initial move up into 1, correction for wave 2, another move up into wave 3, which has to be smaller than wave 1, correction for 4, another move on the upside into wave 5. In another case, we can have an expanding leading diagonal, which looks like this. This is our initial move up into wave 1, and it has to be the smallest wave, correction for wave 2, another move up into wave 3. It must be bigger than 1, correction for 4. In here, we must have overlapping of the waves, and also wave 4 has to be bigger than wave 2, and this is our final move up into wave 5, and it has to be the biggest wave in this structure. Now, pay attention whenever you are having overlapping of the waves, and if you want to be at that point optimistic and bullish, okay, that narrows your option to either an expanding leading diag or maybe a leading diagonal in form of a wedge. But this is the key. In none of these structures, wave 3 is the smallest wave, okay? That is kind of a big no-no in Elliott waves. And this is the point that I'm trying to make. If you want to say, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, and since in here we are having overlapping of the waves, well, okay, either this is going to be an expanding leading diag or maybe a wedge structure. Nonetheless, wave 3 is not allowed to be the smallest wave. But wait a minute, earlier we did measure waves, and there we go. As you can see, wave 3 is by a very small margin, smaller than wave 1, and also yes, it is absolutely smaller than wave 5. So this structure, which is pretty much our best shot at finding a 5 wave, is actually not allowed. And that means if you insist on being bullish, then okay, we should probably consider having in here a series of 1-2s. This can be 5 up into 1, correction for wave 2, and then another move up into wave 3, 4, 5, which on a higher degree, it's going to be into this wave 3, correction for 4, another move up into wave 5. Now, every single bullish possibility in your protocol in like very short term, in my opinion, are going to get invalidated the moment that we see a move on the downside, probably from the current point, in order to take this important low down here about $2.7.5. Why? Because if we do go down and take this low, at that point finding an impulse in here is going to be extremely challenging, and you are going to see me argue that this is probably an A running flat into wave B and another move on the upside into our C leg, indicating our move down from this area is going to probably continue for another 10 to even 15-20%. So in the short term, okay, maybe you are allowed to be optimistic in your protocol, but from my point of view, that bullish scenario is going to be my alternate case. And in here, I'm just seeing overlapping of the waves, which is kind of a characteristic of a corrective movement. And again, in my opinion, we should just wait a little bit more and see what is going to happen to this important level. The moment that we take the lows in here, we are going to be bearish with a bit more confidence. So for now, all eyes on this important level and see what is going to happen to it. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in your protocol. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.